If you want your content to actually drive leads and sales, these are the next 5 videos that you need to make. We're not talking about random reels and no motivational fluff. These 5 video types work together to build trust, to generate leads, and to turn attention into action fast. Let's get into it. You've been putting out content. You're showing up and staying consistent, maybe even getting a few likes and some comments, but it's not actually turning into actual business, right? You're not getting the leads, you're not getting sales, and it just feels like more noise. Does that sound like you? And be honest, right? Because we've all been there. Are you showing up every week, but still wondering, why is this not clicking for me? And honestly, it's really frustrating because you're doing pretty much what everyone says to do. Post valuable content, share tips, make sure you educate people. But here's the problem with that. When you start with value, you skip the part that actually gets people to care. That's why this first video type that you need to make is a mirror video, because when people see themselves in your content, everything changes. All anyone is really doing when they're scrolling is looking for themselves, right? We are wired for survival. You are as well. And in business, survival sounds like, how do I get my next client? How do I fix this thing that's broken? How do I stop wasting time on crap that doesn't work? And no matter what you do, it always feels like your audience just scrolls right past, no matter how much value you try to give. So when you name the exact pain someone is carrying, using the same words that they would use, something eventually shifts and they start to feel seen. And once someone feels seen, they are more likely to listen, to actually trust you, to take action. Here's a really simple way to think about it. If your kitchen is flooding, you don't want a 10-minute tutorial on pipe fittings. You want someone to walk in and say, let me guess, this started right after you tried to fix it yourself. That moment of recognition, that is what earns trust. That's what the mirror video does. And it's the first step to turning your content into clients. And here are a few mirror videos that you can make today. Number 1, call out a mistake you see your audience making over and over again and how it's keeping them stuck. Number 2, talk about a frustration that they're quietly dealing with but don't know how to fix. And number 3, share a moment in your own journey when you realized you were solving the wrong problem. Here's what's brilliant. You're not teaching in these, you're reflecting. You're showing them you understand what they are feeling. And once you've got their attention, now it's time to build trust, because being seen gets the click, but this next video type, it is what gets the sale. If the mirror video earns their attention, this is the one that earns their trust, and I call it the credibility video. This is where you can show that you can actually help someone solve their problem that you just named. That you're not just someone who gets it, you're someone who's already helped someone else fix it, or you have done it for yourself. So think about the last video. Did it prove that your work actually works, or that you just know a lot of information? Because if someone's considering working with you, the first question on their mind is, has this worked for someone else? Not, oh, do they seem smart? Or do you post consistently? Like, people don't care about that. All they care about is, have you done this before and have you gotten results? That's what the credibility video answers. It shows in really grounded and honest terms that your approach delivers results. You don't need a massive case study or this perfect testimonial. In fact, the more relatable the story, the better. And think of it like this. Your audience is standing on one side of a river. They want to get to the other side of the river. That is their goal. The mirror video helps them realize that they're stuck, but the credibility video, that is the bridge. When you show someone like them who's crossed that gap. It gives them hope, and people want hope. And also it shows them that it's possible. That's the psychology. When people see someone else get the result that they want, they start visualizing themselves getting it too. So here are a few credibility videos that you can make today. Number one, share a past client's journey from stuck to success. Number two, break down a before and after moment with screenshots, with some numbers and some simple wins. And number three, tell your own transformation story, not the highlight reel, the messy middle. You have to focus on keeping it human, keep it grounded, keep it real, because now your audience doesn't just feel seen. They start wondering what it would look like to move forward. And this next video type paints that picture perfectly. If this is clicking for you, I run a free group for service-based business owners who want to get clear, get seen, and grow sustainably. That's where I go deeper and give behind-the-scenes stuff that I don't share anywhere else. Just click the link in the description to join. Have you looked back at your last few videos and thought, am I even saying the right things? Because here's the deal. It's not about how much you're posting. It's about how clear your audience is on what you actually do and how it helps them. If someone watched just one of your videos, would they know exactly how you can help them? Exactly how you can help them. That's where the clarity video comes into play. So this video doesn't just talk about your offer. It lays out your approach. It gives people a peek behind the curtain and says, here's what I believe, here's how I help, and here's what it looks like to work with me. If people are still watching your content, they don't want just information. They want a clear path and actual transformation. They're asking themselves, what's this person's actual process? And things like, could this work for me? Do they really get what I'm dealing with? This video type helped me create the WAVES method. So it's a simple 4-part framework that I use for myself and clients to get results that you can use as well. And WAVES, W-A-V-S, stands for W, which is what are you really selling? Because most of us start by talking about features and benefits. It's so boring, but your audience doesn't buy features and benefits. They buy freedom or peace of mind or clarity. The A is audience clarity. You have to know exactly who you're talking to, not just demographics either. I'm talking about their fears, their thoughts, and what keeps them up at night. The V stands for your voice and your message. You can also say it's your brand. This is where your brand lives, the way you talk, the way you show up every day, what makes sure that you're aligned and true to you. And then the S is the strategy. This is the map. What videos to make, when to post, and how it all builds momentum without burning you out. That's it. It's that simple. It's the method that I use to help business owners stop guessing and start connecting. So if you had a clear roadmap for your content, what would actually change for you? Because when you have clarity, creating content just gets so easy. You stop second guessing yourself and thinking you're making the wrong stuff, and you actually make content that connects. And that is where you want to get. That's the point. You've named their problem. You've proven it's solvable, and now you've given them a clear path forward. But even with all that, there's still something that will be holding them back, because understanding the plan isn't always enough to take the leap. There's a much deeper shift that has to happen next, and that's where we're going. At this point in your video journey, something should be shifting. You've started naming real problems. You've shown you're just not another talking head and that you've actually lived it. And you've laid out a clear path that your audience can see themselves following. But here is the truth. And this took me way too long to learn. Information doesn't create transformation. Alignment does. That's what the 4th video is all about, the alignment video. Now, let me be real with you. I'm not actually sitting here with hundreds of clients and thousands of case studies and crazy screenshots, right? I'm still early in this journey myself. I've been a small business owner for 9 years. I've used video to grow a 6-figure business, and now I'm taking that information and applying that into a new business, which is Clear Voice Media, and which is why you're seeing this actual video. When I started creating these videos, the kind that we've been talking about, something really started to click. And I wasn't just making content to stay visible. I was actually making videos that moved people and made them feel good and made me feel good as well, because I stopped trying to sound all professional and jargony and started just sounding like me. I got clear on who I was talking to, and that's you. And it's not this giant crowd, but it's a real person. It's not an algorithm. I stopped rattling off benefits and features and started speaking directly to what my audience was really feeling. And when I did that, people started paying attention and people started reaching out to me. And that is the goal. Not because I was better, but because I got more aligned. It is literally the reason that I started this channel and I started this business. That's what the alignment video shows your audience. It's not just a highlight reel. It's a look behind the curtain, because if they can see that you struggle too, that you were confused at some point, that you were doing it the hard way, and now you found a better way, they're going to believe that they can too. So here are a few different alignment videos that you can make. Number one, here's where I was showing up wrong and then what finally clicked. Number two, this was the turning point when I stopped performing and started connecting. And then number three, I thought I had to be perfect until I realized that people just wanted me to be real. And even with all of that, the trust, the clarity, the results, the alignment, there's still one more very important step. It's time to move them from connection to action. And let's talk about what that looks like. By now, if you've done this right, your viewer is leaning in. They've seen themselves in the problem. They've seen that you've helped others or that you've walked it yourself, and they've gotten a clear map. They've seen the results. So you're probably asking yourself, well, what's next? That's what this final video is all about, the invitation video. Because content is great, but content that moves people to action, that's how you grow your business. That is what you are here for. Your audience is already asking the question, okay, so what do I do now? And you need to answer it clearly. You need to be confident and you need to be able to say it without hesitation. For me specifically, that next step is very simple. I invite you into my free group, right? And that's where we get to go deeper on stuff within the business, within video content. It's all the behind the scenes stuff. It's to break down the real work. And from there, that's where people step into either the 3-month or 6-month accelerator programs that I offer, and where the real true transformation begins. If someone asked you, how do we actually get started? Would you know what to say right now? Because here's the key. You have to name the next step. You have to guide them through it, and you have to make it feel simple. Please do not overcomplicate it. It will only come back to bite you in the butt. That's why this video matters. You're not just giving them information anymore. You're actually offering them momentum. Momentum creates action. It doesn't have to be fancy either. It doesn't have to be this overly produced commercial with 3 different camera angles, but it does have to be clear and it has to be structured. Let them know what happens right after they join or reach out. What will they receive and what the first week actually looks like, because clarity creates confidence. Super simple. And when someone feels confident, they act. If you're not sure what those videos look like for you, try one of these. Number one, what happens when you DM me? So you simply just walk your audience through what the process looks like if they reach out to you. No pressure, no awkward pitch. Number two, inside my free group, right? Give behind the scenes peek at what they're actually getting access to. Community, training, support, whatever it is that you offer. And number three, the week 1 with me. Break down the first 7 days of working with you or being in your ecosystem. Make it feel real and very achievable. If you've done everything that we've talked about in these 5 videos, if you've taken the time to connect, to clarify, to show the path and the payoff, now's the time to lead, right? And we're not talking about pressure. You have to lead with confidence, not with hype, but with certainty. And you take that momentum and you show them what's next. So if you are ready to take the next step with me and you haven't joined the community yet, make sure you do that. And if you want to get access to the 3-month or 6-month accelerator program, just click that link in the description. And again, this is where we get to go deeper. That's where we build content that connects, converts, and actually grows your business. And let's do it together.